My name's Lauren, I'm 19 and I live at home with my family in Hertfordshire. I think for me the signs that I'm feeling anxious physically are a feeling of heaviness and tightness in my chest and my throat. I get quite clammy palms. I start to feel like a really tight feeling in my stomach as well. I can only focus on the emotional stuff when I feel really anxious. I feel particularly anxious in scenarios where I think people are going to be disappointed in me. That's a big one for me, as well as if I feel that I'm not doing a good enough job, whatever that might be. I found that the things that help me to reduce my anxiety levels are a combination of practical techniques, so things like breathing techniques that I've learned over the years, things like being aware of my thoughts, so using different techniques that I've learned. Just really being present and noticing how I feel in my emotions, in my anxiety, and not trying to suppress that, but be aware of it and then use those practical techniques that I've learned over the years. I think it's important to keep going when I feel anxious, to push through, because when I don't and I retreat into what feels like the natural reaction to feeling anxious, I sort of stay in bed, I kind of just sit in that feeling of anxiety. It's important that I push through, because if I don't, I continue to feel the same way. And if I push through, then eventually I'm overcoming that anxiety about doing whatever it is I'm anxious about doing. For example, there have been lots of times in my life where I didn't want to go to something, I didn't want to do something, and I've really broken down getting there. So instead of thinking about the end goal of actually arriving at that place, I break it down and say, okay, I can right now just brush my teeth. I get up and I can just walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth, and then after that I can just get dressed, do my makeup, and I'm just going to drive. And then if I get there and I don't want to go in, I don't have to go in, that's fine. And normally by going through those steps and those motions, they feel manageable. So I'm able to push through and get to the end goal of being there. And what's funny is that those are often the times where I feel they're the most rewarding situations. So for example, there was once where I managed to get myself ready. I got myself there. I said, okay, I can actually do this. I can just go inside and do this event. And because I did, so many doors opened for me. Anxiety started to feel like a real issue for me when I was probably around 12 or 13. Looking back now that I know what my signs of anxiety are, I can see patterns of it throughout my life. But that was a time where I really felt that it became something that impacted my day-to-day life every day. I would say to myself at that age that it's okay to ask for help. I would say, you can do this. Because I can't say to myself, this will go away. But now I really feel like I'm able to manage my anxiety, and that is more powerful than I could ever have imagined. I feel that I'm able to really have a handle on this, and that's what I would say to myself.